Feels so weird driving this car, because I know every single braking point and when to let off the gas in an LMP2 car. This car is not an LMP2 car, so I have no idea. Alright, have you seen Capita? C-A-P-E-T-A. It's like a 52 episode anime, and it shows this kid starting out in a go-kart and making his way up to the big leagues, and all the hardships along the way because he has like no money. Really good anime. Because it also gives you an idea of what it's like to get started on your racing career, basically. I wish it had more episodes, to be honest. It ended too soon. I have no idea how far the source material went, though. Now, Darkless, nowadays, there are actually some anime that are dubbed as they air. So, for example, High School DxD, the 3rd season, that was dubbed as it aired in Japan. So you could actually download or view the dubbed episodes at the same time you could view the subbed ones. So, dubbing is becoming more predominant. In other words, as far as the production process goes. So, that's good. Oh, that's right, they do, don't they? Then, I can't remember the name of it. They're the group that localized or ever that dubbed Mahoka or the Irregular at Magic High. They streamed that as well. However, I don't think it was dubbed then. Oh yeah, I'm friends with someone who's into that. It was actually we were trying to figure out how he could log data for like telemetry and stuff in his car without having to use a laptop. Turns out you can use an SD card right on the ECME ad. So do you rally in your Roadrunner, or what do you rally in, since it sounded like you were rebuilding that? I personally really only watch subbed anime. I haven't watched a dub in a very long time. I do have a legitimate reason for that, and it's not just preference. I prefer to watch things in their original form as opposed to being changed to be more appropriate or suitable for my personal culture. So, for example, if I'm watching a Chinese movie, I'd rather see it with the Chinese voicing and with subs than see it with a dubbed over voice. And the same goes for anime. I think that you lose some context and some of the subtleties and nuances when you dub something. Because sometimes the phrases are changed to be more appropriate for the culture, like with Naruto. They changed Databoyo to like deal with it, or something along those lines. And that's a very small thing and not really important. But It just goes back to what I'm trying to say. I have a legitimate reason for winning that. And not to mention what Japan deems is appropriate for their age groups of like teenagers and stuff is considerably different from what America deems appropriate to air on TV for the same age group. So there's that as well. And so as a result, some of the words used, such as language, get censored out or changed. Oh, nice. What do you think of Codemaster's new game on PC called Dirt Rally? I've not played it myself, but I definitely would like to play it. From what I've heard, it sounds like it's more realistic and it's more of a simulator type game. I've seen some gameplay where I don't know if it was an actual rally racer who was playing the game or not, but there was a side-to-side video of an onboard cam of an actual rally race on a segment of whatever track, and then the same thing in game, and just a comparison to show how realistic it was or accurate it was. I was impressed, and it was an early build too. It wasn't the fully released version that they have now. Well, that's good, yeah. I mean, realistically, you can sort of understand why it wasn't dubbed. I don't think I've seen the OVA myself, but typically one-off things like that aren't dubbed, from what I understand. Now, you've seen a lot more dubbed than I do, so you probably know more about that than I do. But, now, if it was something that was paired with the DVD, yes, absolutely, that would have been dubbed. But it sounds like it came out such a long time afterwards that it wasn't. Yeah, I'll buy the game eventually. Probably once I finish building my computer. I'll also be doing a lot more streaming on computer. Well, actually, I'll be streaming on my computer as well once I finish building it. Right now, the processor just isn't powerful enough, and I don't have enough RAM to do what I want to do on the computer while I'm streaming. I like multitasking. What you saw in my setup is what I'm doing right now. I am playing RuneScape on 2 accounts while I'm doing this. Yeah, that would make sense. Granted, I have no idea the time gap between when the anime was dubbed compared to when it was aired versus when the OVA came out, but that would make more sense. Yeah, when my friend bought his Subaru Impreza, the person had already done some suspension work on it, so he's got some nice suspension. Then he'll be doing some other stuff, like I think he's wanting to change the spoiler, do some work on the engine, I think. I don't remember what all he wanted to do. Funny enough, a lot of my early anime that I watched were dubbed, simply due to ignorance of I didn't know how to change it to subbed. Or I couldn't find sub versions, so Black Cat, I watched that dubbed. I watched Clanad dubbed, including the after story. Then I watched Blood Plus dubbed. And I also watched Negima with exclamation point and a question mark dubbed. It's funny because it was on like the last couple of episodes of Negima that I found out how to change the audio from English to Japanese and to add subtitles and stuff. Needless to say, that was a big facepalm moment. That's a lot to put into a car. I like the anime. I wish I had more episodes, actually. The one I watched was more comedy than drama, and it went the kawaii side, so all the girls, it showed them doing kawaii things and looking kawaii, so... Oh, that is funny. That is actually a good question, and I have no idea. I assume you're talking about like the Stingray and the good old classic Cobra and the Mustang and stuff. I honestly have no idea. I'd never really thought about it before. Laps are so slow in this car. Yeah, I have no idea. So since you said you were gonna put like 300 grand into your car, does that mean you've got a fairly good paying job to be able to afford to do that? Or is it just a dream you're gonna do over the years? I'm not going to bother driving super hardcore or try hard with this car. I don't know how to drive it very well. I'm not comfortable driving it, rather. I can't push it to its limits. If this was an LMP2 car, though, I'd be trying to break my record of a 646 lap.